Alright guys, we are back and it is time to do Virgo's reading. So I've just gotten situated here and I'm still fighting with my camera. I'm sorry about that, y'all. That's the way it is right now. I'm gonna pick your deck and we will get started with your reading. Don't mind Dobby, he's just chilling. Alright, so today we will be using for Virgo the ViceVersa deck. And it's basic, here's the box. And it basically has, oh, well, you can see it on the box. That's the back of the box. That would be the back of the card. So it has something on both sides of the card. I don't read reversals with this one. I am an intuitive reader, so I do not pull cards per se. I shuffle and they come out when they are good and ready. Let's see. So Virgo is the second earth sign that I will be reading for. And we'll just see, well, y'all had a whole wad of cards jump out. I usually take them one or two at a time. Sometimes it's a little bit more than that, but that was probably like 10 cards. So basically what I'll be doing is I will be waiting for 10 cards to come out for you, and I read that as a story. And we'll talk about the story a little bit, what that means. We'll go over each card, and if there are any questions, anything doesn't seem clear to me, I will go ahead and pull clarifiers in order to get a better read on that card. So the first card that popped out is the Devil. And it came out in reverse. So the Devil card is also a symbol for Capricorn. And we'll get into that a little more. Usually I wait till all the cards are down because it kind of tells a more, a more complete story. And sometimes, like what a card comes out above or below or next to can affect what it is talking about. Most of the times my stories run sequentially, so I'll do 5 across the top, 5 across the bottom. With my setup here, you can't really see my cards unless I hold them up, but we'll get into that. So it's interesting, most of these have come out backwards. And when I say most, I mean all, which is kind of interesting. I wonder what that means. I've never actually had a reading where all the cards came out reversed. So we'll see what this comes out to. I'm just waiting for 3 more cards to come out and then we'll start in on the reading. So I'm actually a Libra Virgo rising, so I'm kind of excited to do this one. Alright, so I've got your 10 cards out, and I will run through those. I'm just setting the deck to the side so that if I need a clarifier, we can go in there. Like I said, we started off with the Devil in reverse. This is the front of the card. This is the back of the card and how it came up. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, which again came up in reverse. That is the back of the card, and this is the front. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and that's the back again and the front. The Six of Cups, back and front. The Strength card, back and front. The Nine of Cups, back and front. I'm sorry, this one's actually not in reverse. This one is front, which is how it came up, and then back. The Three of Swords, back and front. The Three of Cups, back and front. The Three of Pentacles, back and front. And the Six of Swords, and that's the back and the front. So this is really interesting because you've got 3 sixes, 3 threes, and 2 nines. So I would definitely look up the angel numbers 666, 333, and 99. I would check those separately, and then I would check those separately, and then I would also check 6969 as an angel number. So that would be 333, 666, 99, and then 6969 for your angel numbers. There's one thing that I noticed as well that's really interesting, is that you have the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles, 369. And what I'm seeing here with that is, and this is kind of interesting because this is not reading necessarily in a sequential story how I would usually read them, but this one is coming out with like a lot of a mix of abundance that's happening. Like usually the Nine of Pentacles is being in the process of working on something, and this is like everything that all the effort that you've put in is coming to fruition. And it's like with this, like, yes, everything, you can see her harvest is plentiful. It's coming through here, everything that she's been working for, and it's coming through. But she's also looking forward into the future, and there's a dove there, and there's a person in a tower who's reaching out to another bird. So I would look at birds as spirit guides. And then in the front, you can really see the light side, the abundance that's happening here, but also in the background, in the shadow side, she's already looking out for what's happening next. But she's not looking into the future with concern or fear. It is more of anticipation and planning. And here again, he's got all of that. You can see that he's kind of looking towards it here. Again, his pentacles, the things that he's been working on, the things that he's planning, and he's also just throwing cards everywhere. He's also looking at what he has, what he's already achieved. So from the pentacles here, what we're seeing is a progression of receiving everything that you've worked for and everything that you've put out there, but also planning what's coming next. And in this one, I really like this one because it's like he's already in the front. You can see where he's like, they're planning and they're executing this build, this physical manifestation of everything that they've been working towards. And here that part's complete, but he's got like a flower there, which is, it's specifically a rose, which is a symbol of love. And then he's got this granite block, which has a triangle on it. But it's like everything's done, and he's just carrying this one last little piece to a place, but it's not in this place for him to complete. It's not pictured what he's completing, but it's like a final fitting piece. So as far as your physical manifestations, your finances, your tangible things, your house, your possessions, those kinds of things, whatever it is that you have been working towards, that's coming into you, and now is a really good time to be looking into the future. And of course, with the Mercury retrograde right now, not necessarily the time to start executing on a new plan. Right now is a very good time to let everything that you've worked on come into being. But it is a good time to like start thinking about stuff and just like formulate what it is that you're looking into next, and just allow there to be joy in daydreaming. So then it goes into the cups, and it's interesting because it starts to tell a very similar story with cups, which is the water here. The pentacles, by the way, that part is all earth, which is, good, because Virgo, that's like closely related. That is your sign, so it's very closely tied. Like it is easier for you to get into that grounded, abundant space. Your interest naturally will lie in that direction. But here, it is someone standing up on the balcony, and he's just looking at these flowering cups, but they're not his. They're not really his. And then from the front, you can see that he's watching someone else achieve their happiness and success there. And I mean, it's hard to say if he's happy for them or not, but it does seem like a little bit of jealousy here. And then we go to the Strength card, which sits next to it. And as you can see, she's sitting there with a lion facing this beast, which is interesting because that also is the beast that we see here at the beginning. That is the back of the devil. And it's right here. Like, he's got the masculine and feminine chained to his block. So they're kind of trapped in a pattern. And there is a 5 on there, as well as the pentagram. But here, with the Strength card, the beast, the lion, which is also, the Strength card is also Leo. She is, seems to be taming the beast. And here you can't really see what she's looking at. It looks like she's looking at this situation with the Devil card, but really, she only has eyes for the Leo here, so I don't know if some of you guys are dealing with a Leo in your situation. And this is not a love reading, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm just going through what the cards are saying. So maybe there's a Capricorn energy here, or, and it's not necessarily a person. This could be, most people have, if you have Capricorn strongly in your chart, it could be part of you is logically saying not to get involved in something. And there's also a Leo energy here that is in some kind of union. So it could be fighting against yourself, or it could be fighting against a relationship with someone else. The key here is, this isn't as scary as it seems. Like, you're not facing off against the Capricorn energy. You always have the choice of where to place your focus. So not to see the fear here or the scary situation here, but to see the peace and have the strength to calm the beast. Down here we have the 9 of Cups, and again he's looking out at the cups, and he's in his palace, and it's well lit, but he's looking out into the dark, and it's not necessarily clear why. And then we see there's an angelic fairy-like form with a cornucopia, and this is symbolizing the completion of nearing the completion of a cycle. And this, as it is cups, relates to emotions, so it's being close to the answer to your emotional quest, be that a relationship or an understanding with yourself and understanding your own emotions, and the cornucopia being abundance and plenty. So abundant understanding of your emotions. And then this is where it gets really interesting, because this is the Three of Swords. That's the front, and this is the back of that, where you can see, I'm sorry, this is the back, and this is the front. There we go. On the front, you can see that it's stabbed into a heart. This is typically a three-party situation. There's like a rose that is broken on the ground. There's love there that's been damaged. And that's more so a three-party situation where not everyone is aware of what's happening. There are, and you'll see why this is interesting when I get into the next card, but that's typically what this is a three-party situation where everyone is not aware of what's happening. But you can also see here there's a blue carnation. Typically those, I believe, are seen at funerals. So it's like there's a death, and there's someone here who's been fighting this and who's looking at it and kind of in mourning. The reason that's so interesting is because the next card is the Three of Cups. And here, this is also, in another regard, a three-party situation, which you can see that there's abundance here. The cups are full. This is the loving situation. And the other three parties are, everyone's there. Everyone is present and aware of what's going on. So these are kind of opposite energies, which says that probably some of you are having the three-party situation where not everyone is aware, and some of you are having the situation where it is a three-party situation, but everyone is aware. And that could also be that there's conflict around, like, if you are wanting an open relationship or not, and how everyone feels about that. I will also note that the masculine energy here is on the Three of Swords, which is, this is also a logical, like, headspace type energy versus an emotional one. So it could be more so the masculine energy, which doesn't have to be a man. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy. But in this case, it's whoever's more in their masculine is having a harder time with this three-party situation versus the feminine energy that is very comfortable with this and is feeling very good about it. So, again, there could be, they're not contradicting, but more so displaying that there are there's really four possible scenarios here. One is that there's a masculine energy who's not aware that he's in a three-party situation. There's a masculine energy who is happy in a three-party situation. There's a feminine energy who is not aware that she is in a three-party situation, and there's a feminine energy who is aware and happy in a three-party situation. That's what I'm getting out of that, and I know that could be a little bit confusing. So the other thing I want to point out is really interesting. We were talking about the 3s, 6s, and 9s that are so plentiful in this reading, is that the only 3 that we do not have on the board is the 3 of Wands, which would be fire. So it's the mental acuity of Swords, the emotions of water, and the abundance that is found in Pentacles. So we've also already gone through this one. That was the next one in order. We do have the 6 of Swords. So this one here, and I got this in another reading, I think it was when I was working on this yesterday, and it was a line from Pirates of the Caribbean that was kind of making me laugh about it, because it was like, when Johnny Depp's character is like, stop blowing holes in my ship, and there's like swords that are like, it kind of looks like they're stuck into the boat. And this is a crossing. And actually, when this came up, it was not in this deck. It was in a different deck. But here, she is sitting in the boat, and he is using a pole to cross. And so that means that the water is not so deep that they can't touch the bottom to gain the momentum and movement. But it is traveling over still water at night with kind of holes in your boat. So maybe not feeling like, ooh, you are looking at your emotions, and your logical mind is reasoning through it in a way that makes you feel less secure than you actually are. So the vulnerability is kind of in that. And then in this one, you can also see that she's holding kind of a chalice, and they're coming out of a cave. So they're kind of coming out of a scary situation. and feeling vulnerable, but it's moving away from the darkness. So here I would say communication is really kind of coming out, because there's that three-party situation that not everyone is aware of. There is this situation where you're feeling fearful and discomfort about the different energies, the strength here, the Leo energy, the Capricorn energy, or like an inner battle. So I would say be honest about your situation, be honest about what you want, and you're coming out of the darkness here. You're coming out of the darkness, so focus on, be honest about your feelings, focus on what your true heart's desire is, and know that you are moving forward, and there are clear skies, and it's not, you're coming out of the darkness. The darkness is behind you. You're already through the hardest part. I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you so much for watching, Virgo.